Welcome back, everybody, coast to coast. This week in America, 74-year-old author Dr. John Memory realized in recent years that he has much important information that is seldom or never taught in college and university courses. After checking out course descriptions of a major university in the Southeast, he undertook writing his book, Mysteriously Missing College Courses, Important Information That Is Nearly Never Covered in a University or College Course. He's not a health doctor, although his doctoral dissertation was on a health subject, work-related stress, but he has had significant scholarly and professional experiences relating to health that have helped him in writing the 17 chapters in his book about health. John Memory, Ph.D., Juris Doctorate, author of the thought-provoking book Mysteriously Missing College Courses, Important Information That Is Nearly Never Covered in a University or College Course, is our guest on This Week in America. Dr. Memory, welcome to the program. It's great to have you with us today.
I'm very glad to be with you.
This is such an interesting book. I said thought-provoking. It certainly does that. Let's start with the idea. When did you realize there's so much information out there that's vital, valuable information that's not being taught? When did you decide to put this book together?
I worked on that very hard during 2017 and 2018. I'm a retired person, so I put in 3 or 4 hours a day for 2 years. I had gradually become aware over my adult life that there are subjects that are either not taught or seldom taught, but some are really not adequately taught. So I have become aware over a very long time.
And that's what makes the book so fascinating. The book is available at Amazon, Mysteriously Missing College Courses, never covered in a university or college course. Get the whole title correct. And you can, of course, go to our website, thisweekinamerica.us, and link on directly to Dr. Memory's book. Let's talk about the fact I established it in the beginning. You're not a medical doctor, but you've got vast experience in the medical field as a patient, haven't you? A lot of the topics you talk about are issues that have greatly impacted your life, so you had to do some research on your own.
That's right. I have inherited some health vulnerabilities. All of us do. And I think it's incumbent on all of us to figure out what those vulnerabilities are and then try to deal with them as well as we can.
And you do that in 17 chapters in the book are about health, covering a wide range of subjects, again, subjects you're very familiar with. We'll talk about some of these as time permits on the program today. Chapter 4 is interesting, dealing with nutritional supplements. We're taught that many of them don't really have significant benefits. We see the commercials all the time. We hear about it. Yet we sort of have the medical community saying, proceed with caution because maybe the benefits aren't as great as they portray. You did great research in this. Talk about nutritional supplements that are available to us.
I think the best proof we have concerning the effectiveness of nutritional supplements is the fact that a UCLA professor, Dale Bredesen, did extremely important research attempting to reverse Alzheimer's with 10 patients. The Alzheimer's Foundation would confidently say you cannot reverse and you cannot prevent Alzheimer's. Dr. Bredesen achieved significant reversal and improvement in symptoms of 9 of those people. 2 of them who had severe Alzheimer's were able to go back to work. He used 31 different nutritional supplements in his programs. Another very impressive source is a book by Dr. Amen, A-M-E-N, who is a psychiatrist and a terrific expert on brain health and function. He has a very important book, Brain Rescue. He probably recommends as many as 70 different supplements for different conditions. These are really terrifically important experts about brain health and function for whom nutritional supplements are terrifically important. We need to know that nearly everything in the body that is connected with brain health and function is also connected with heart health and function.
With us on the program is Dr. John Memory. His book is Mysteriously Missing College Courses, Important Information That Is Nearly Never Covered in a University or College Course. I want to move on to talking about holistic medicine and the bad rap that gets in some medical communities. You said something interesting there. When we read that from the medical community that nutritional supplements really don't have significant benefits, is that just incorrect on their part, or is there some level of dishonesty involved?
Well, I think it's a financial thing. Nutritional supplements, I have shown in my own life, have been terrifically helpful in preventing high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, Parkinson's, heart attack, and the medical community cannot afford for people in America to fully grasp how helpful nutritional supplements can be. And I absolutely believe there is some dishonesty involved. For example, the drug industry that produces statin drugs, it would be disastrous for that sector of the drug industry for Americans to fully understand that there is an approach available involving supplements and exercise that can give them vastly better outcomes than taking a statin drug.
Statin drugs, I want to talk about that. And in the book, you talk about the high percentage of Americans who don't realize that alternative, holistic, homeopathic, non-conventional medicine can actually provide excellent solutions. Your exhibit A, that they actually, you can use those modes and work.
Well, I feel so fortunate that I have taken that approach. I first had a physician recommend I take a cholesterol reducing drug in the 1980s, and I have rejected their advice dozens and dozens of times, and I feel I'm going to have to use the word blessed. I think I'm blessed that that's the approach I took. I will mention another thing. I have recurrent cancer. I have recurrent prostate cancer. I had two friends who had very similar symptoms 3 years ago, and both of them are dead. My surgery failed, radiation failed, and last year I connected with extremely strong holistic people and approaches provided by one very strong person in Charlotte have greatly slowed the advance of my prostate cancer. And I know the field reasonably well, and I know that I have probably 10 different approaches against prostate cancer that I still have available if necessary.
With us on the program, such a fascinating conversation with Dr. John Memory. His book is Mysteriously Missing College Courses, Important Information That Is Nearly Never Covered in a University or College Course. The book's available, of course, at Amazon. You can link on directly to Dr. Memory's page on Amazon by going to our website, thisweekinamerica.us. There's a chapter in there, Chapter 6, that is very close to you. This is an approach that you've been using for decades, and that basically it's VCR. And some of us old enough think of, well, what does a video recorder have to do with that? That's not the VCR we're talking about. Talk about VCR, how you developed this, and how it's been actually life-saving for you.
In 1981, I became aware for the first time that I had extremely bad heart and brain disease risk factors. I had just finished my doctoral dissertation, which was about work-related stress. I think that experience made me inclined to try to find an approach using exercise and supplements to prevent heart and brain disease. So I developed my own approach. I take the supplements, I wait 30 minutes, and then I get exercise. I get at least 20 minutes of moderate exercise. I have done this nearly 9,000 times, and it's not tiresome. I played golf yesterday. I took all my supplements and had a wonderful time playing golf and walked 9 holes. Today, I did an interesting procedure. It's called exercise with oxygen therapy. I turned my oxygen up to a very high level, and which is medically safe. And then I exercised on my exercise machine for 15 minutes. In recent years, tests have shown that my arteries are nearly completely clear of occlusion. And given my risk factors, you would assume I would have heart disease, I would have atherosclerosis, but I do not. I do not have a problem with blood pressure, but I still have the risk factors, and the fact that I'm continuing to do that routine is helping me to hold off diabetes. I have the risk factors. Also, I am in the second to worst group concerning risk of getting Alzheimer's. My routine has been terrifically helpful in maintaining my brain health and function.
What Dr. Memory is talking about is vascular cleansing routine, VCR as it's called, and the sequence is very important. You'll find all of that in his book, Mysteriously Missing College Courses, Important Information That Is Nearly Never Covered in a University or College Course. Mention something there that's very interesting, and you've got a chapter that talks about that. Recreation. And recreation we think of as maybe exercise type of thing. You throw hobbies in there, and you've got a hobby that you followed for a number of years that you feel is holding off Alzheimer's in your case.
Well, the hobby you're talking about is duplicate bridge.
Yes.
And I have played regularly with the best players in North and South Carolina, and I have achieved a level, 4 levels above ordinary life master. And before every duplicate game, I do the VCR, because I learned a long time ago that doing my VCR tended to help me to think better, be more alert, have better memory for several hours after the routine. And I think duplicate bridge, unfortunately, is losing followers, but James Holzhauer, who was the terrific Jeopardy guy, has duplicate bridge as his favorite hobby. So Bill Gates and Warren Buffett have it as their favorite hobbies. If you want to challenge your brain, and also that's a great way to do it. Also, research has shown that duplicate bridge can help delay the development of Alzheimer's.
With us on the program, Dr. John Memory, the book Mysteriously Missing College Courses, Important Information That Is Nearly Never Covered in a University or College Course. A few minutes left in the program, going by way too quickly. You talk about anti-aging and the fact that a lot of experts feel that we could add 10 to 12 additional good years of our life through determined disease prevention and health improvement approaches. And you document that. I mean, you're an example that you have taken some some maybe bleak diagnoses over the years and living a very fulfilling life right now.
Well, in order for that to actually occur, obviously you have to continue to live, but you need to prevent degenerative disease. I fortunately have been successful in preventing degenerative diseases. You need to prevent other disability. And also you need to retain your ability to do things that are enjoyable in your life. I am 75 and a half years old, and I can play golf nearly as well as ever, bridge very close to as well as ever. I do a lot of music. I enjoy ballroom dancing. So if people are interested in this, the best company about extending your life is Life Extension. You can find that on the internet. They have great information. They have great supplements. And remember, I started this 37 years ago doing my VCR. So I have really sort of relentlessly attempted to preserve and improve my heart and brain health. I absolutely believe that the people who make that assertion, that you can gain 10 to 12 extra years of enjoyable, healthful living, I believe they're correct. You can have bad luck. You can have vulnerabilities you cannot overcome, but I believe a lot of people can actually do that.
And the key to that is good years, not just extending your life, but extending your life to be able to enjoy by having good years. Couple minutes left. I want to talk about this because it's so important. You address working hard to protect and improve your mental health, something we sort of maybe put on the back burner. So we're so worried about everything else. Talk about mental health and the role that plays in giving us a fulfilling life.
Well, I feel reluctant to mention this. My father committed suicide. He was a great person, and he had serious cancer. I inherited two different sources of tendency to experience depression. I have some vulnerability concerning stress and anxiety. I have an older brother who had a horrible outcome relating to mental health. So I decided in 1969 that I would just work hard on maintaining my mental health for the rest of my life. For example, I have a psychologist now, and I will see her once every 2 weeks. And there's an interesting thing nearly nobody knows. Talking therapy actually creates changes in the structure of your brain. Now, I have my vulnerabilities, and I take extremely low level of 3 psychotropic drugs. And a psychiatrist would say that that's not enough dose to accomplish anything. It turns out that just a little bit helps me significantly. Let me tell you 2 things that are so interesting about depression. If you have a tendency to depression, fish oil helps dramatically with depression. Exercise is more effective than medication against depression.
I think so often when you feel that depression creeping in, or just a down attitude, you get outside and you have some exercise, it just suddenly everything is put in proper perspective, and then life changes for the better. Boy, we're out of time. There is so much information, so much more, and it's not just on health. Dr. Memory has chapters in there on futurology, moral courage, religion, a number of great topics. These are all topics that you probably won't find about in a university or college. In fact, the name of the book is Mysteriously Missing College Courses, Important Information That is Nearly Never Covered in a University or College Course. Dr. Memory, it's been a pleasure having you on the program. Learned quite a bit during the course of the program and looking into the book. Thank you so much for sharing this with us on the program today.
Thank you so much for having me.
It has been our pleasure. And once again, John Memory, our guest, Ph.D. and J.D. He is the author of the book Mysteriously Missing College Courses, Important Information That Is Nearly Never Covered in a University or College Course. The book's available at Amazon. Of course, information at our website, thisweekinamerica.us. And we're back after these messages.